All right, welcome back to Dave's World, my channel. Today let's talk about Jake Blaison's movie that's now streaming on Netflix, I Care a Lot. It stars Rosamund Pike as Marla Grayson, Peter Dinklage as Roman Linyov, Eiza Gonzalez as Marla Grayson's partner Fran, and Dianne Wiest as an elderly woman by the name of Jennifer Peterson. Chris Messina as a lawyer, an attorney in the movie. Now this movie is disturbing to some extent, and that's because it kind of glorifies what these characters, Marla Grayson and Fran and other conspirators, do to the elderly. And there's like a system of people involved, from the courts to the doctors involved, and even nursing homes or assisted living homes that are part of this conspiracy or this operation that basically convinces the courts to designate these elderly people as wards of the state because of their inability to take care of themselves. And then Marla Grayson, her character, takes advantage of that situation, sells off all their property, all their savings, exploits them. And most of these people are not actually people that would need that kind of care. They can care for themselves. And so when I first saw the trailer and read a little bit about it, I was kind of thinking and hoping that this was going to be a revenge movie. You know, you mess with the wrong person and you're going to pay. Now I'm going to have to spoil this a little bit to kind of get to my point. If you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to hear the spoilers, then come back a little later after you've seen it. But essentially, as we begin to get to know the characters, Peter Dinklage's character, Roman Linyov, we discover it has some relationship with Jennifer Peterson, who is the last elderly person in which Marla Grayson takes control over and becomes a guardian of. We're immediately, in the first scene in which we see Roman, we're given a little bit of information that he's a bad guy. We're not supposed to like him. Why? Because he's a bad guy, he's a mobster. As the movie was developing in that kind of direction, I was getting very angry. I felt like, I can't believe that Marla Grayson's going to get away with this. And so throughout the rest of the development of the story, it kind of moves in that direction. And that's what bothers me, is that these are elderly people. These people have worked their entire lives. It's almost like they want us to root for her, root for Marla Grayson. As Peter Dinklage's character develops, he's an angry guy, he does some bad things. I get the feeling that that's the intent, is that we're supposed to root for her, but I couldn't root for her. I didn't want her to get away with it. That's kind of what happens. Now, ultimately at the very end, she's shot and killed by this disgruntled son of one of the other elderly people that she has been caring for. She basically cut this guy out of his mother's life, took all of her money, and he knew there wasn't anything wrong with her. But he couldn't do anything about it. That's not what I expected to see. I expected Dinklage's character to be so angry about how she did his mother, or even maybe the mother, because as you see her character develop, she's a tough lady. She didn't play around. And so I kind of expected those guys to set up some sort of plan in motion to seek to exact their revenge, either by killing her or getting her thrown in jail or something. It didn't happen that way. In fact, it got even worse, in my opinion. They consolidate into a partnership to do things together. That's what Peter Dinklage's character Roman wanted to do. So having said what my beef is, and it's not about the film itself, the acting by the four main characters is amazing. The screenplay is good, and the direction is well done. Jake Blaison did a good job. The cinematography is good, it looks good, it's edited well, the pace of the film is great. So if I put all of my personal feelings aside, on its own, it's a good movie. I'd give it 3.5 stars and a high recommendation to see it.